Tonight's meeting of the Physical Services Committee to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Councilor Meyer.
Here.
Councilor Plunkett.
Here.
Councilor Ashline.
Here.
Councilor Kennedy.
Here.
Could I have a motion to approve the minutes of the April 20th, 26th committee meeting, please? Councilor Ashline, Councilor Plunkett. Roll call, please.
Councilor Meyer.
Yes.
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
Councilor Ashline.
Yes.
Councilor Kennedy.
I see no old business. We'll go to new business under authorization. The Zoning and Planning Office has received a request from National Grid for use of public space at the properties known as 106 and 108 East Oneida Street in order to install a new utility pole to relieve overloaded circuit between the curb and the sidewalk. Jeff.
Good evening, councilors. This is pretty commonplace as Grid goes through to upgrade some of their stuff. They find that some are overloaded and need to put a new utility pole in. In this case, it is in our public right of way, which is between, obviously, the sidewalk and the road in this case. So they're just asking for permission to install that pole.
Okay. Questions?
Yeah. When National Grid puts a pole in, sometimes what they're doing is replacing a pole. And when they do that, there's other utilities that attach to that pole. And when it's in the public space and they've put a new pole in particular, there's a pole on East 8th Street at 250 East 8th Street where they added an additional pole and they left the legacy utilities connecting Verizon and Spectrum to the old pole. So now the homeowner has two poles. And I'm wondering, when we authorize the installation of a pole, is there are we authorizing two poles or do they have an obligation to remove an old pole?
Generally, an obligation to remove the old one. Do you know how long that's?
It's been 5 months.
Okay.
And the answers the homeowner's been given have been vague and not really responsive. I did check the pole. It's interesting. They allocate the same pole number to the duplicate pole. And so I don't think they view this as an additional pole. They cut the top of the pole off. But it's sprouted roots, and there's two of them. And the homeowner's a very meticulous homeowner and said, that's less than what I bargained for. I've had a pole, and I understand that, but having two poles. So I don't know whether there's a way that we can...
We can facilitate getting those transferred to the new pole.
Yeah, that would be the only question, just so that we can tell a homeowner that they don't, when we put poles in, the old ones come out.
Absolutely. We can look into that on the one
I'll
on
give
8th
you the
Street.
pole number, and we can see if we can't get to the bottom of it.
Perfect.
Great, thanks, Jeff.
Any other questions, comments? Could I have a motion, please? Councilor Kennedy, Councilor Ashline. Roll call, please.
Councilor Meyer.
Yes.
Councilor Plunkett.
Yes.
Councilor Ashline.
Yes.
Councilor Kennedy.
Item 2, the Zoning and Planning Office has received a request from Allison Smith, owner of a single-family dwelling located at 264 East 7th Street for use of public space in order to install a 4-foot high fence. Jeff.
Actually, councilors, I'm going to ask that you table this tonight so I can get some more information on this one. Notice. Oh, sure. Come on up. This is the drawing, but there's nothing on there.
So here's my existing fence. This fence would be a temporary barrier that would prevent unauthorized access and limit trespassing from this property here.
So this is your property line
Yep, and this is the road up here. So
here. Okay, but it doesn't show anything going into public space.
I'm not sure who is responsible for marking that up. I wasn't asked to. Mike Cleary came to my house and we measured everything out so that the public space point that would start, the temporary fence would go from here to the road. This property installed a fence without a permit and it encroaches onto my property. So this temporary fence would go from my property line up to the street. But because it goes past my property line and within that 33 foot,
So you're looking to go all the way to the road?
correct. Because there's constant unauthorized access from this property coming into my front yard.
What's your opinion, Jeff?
I mean, generally, we don't go beyond a sidewalk with public space with a fence because it becomes a visual
There is no sidewalk.
issue.
There's no sidewalk on this block.
Even so, with that going to the road.
Isn't
I
there
mean-
usually a measurement from the center of the road to?
Well, that'll give you the
where-
setback. I mean,
Right.
I do have the survey here, just generally, people backing out of driveways, cars coming down the street, if somebody was coming out of that yard to go around the fence, they'd be stepping into the road. So it becomes a safety issue going that far. I
So-
would definitely like to revisit that before
So
we.
you would like us to table it and come back in 2
I think we
weeks?
should take a look at it for sure, because generally, we
Okay.
don't go to the road for safety reasons.
Right.
So there
Okay.
is an urgency here. I do want to note that. If the people who keep accessing my property were to get hurt, I'm liable. And trying to respectfully ask them to not access my property has not worked. So I met with Mike, the code enforcement officer. He's familiar with the property. And he measured everything out and had mentioned that I shouldn't have any problems getting approval. It's a temporary fence, it's not cemented posts. I'm certainly open to suggestions on how to minimize the risk and liability on myself, because I am the property owner.
That
But
would
I
be-
do request some kind of quick resolution.
I would
I would say we
recommend
can ask.
Chief Katie, who's here.
I think we can ask Counselor Caracoli if we were to table it today to look at it, are we able to bring it back next week just because of the urgency? I think we need to
Yeah,
have a little further look into it. I mean, it would,
That would be appropriate, it's if you would take it off the floor, essentially without council or committee consideration, but, I mean, it's kind of a unique situation.
Okay.
Property owners presenting yourself, but there is an issue
right.
that needs a couple more days to sort through, but if you're comfortable with that, I'm certainly comfortable with proposing.
Yeah, has any counselors got any comments or questions about that? So
I'm
we'll
happy
table,
to schedule a time. I can go look at it. I can schedule a time to meet you over there, Counselor
Okay.
Meyer, if you'd like.
Yeah.
Or anybody else that wants to look at it.
all right, we can do that. Igor, we're gonna table it, or get a motion to table, and then bring it back next Monday night for a motion off the floor. Could I have a motion to table, please? Counselor Plunkett, Counselor Kennedy. Roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer,
The motion, yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Ashline,
Yes to table.
Counselor Kennedy.
Set something for the next day or two to meet there and look at it, and then I can circle back with you. All right. Jeff, Leanne.
Okay, item 3. The zoning and planning office has received a request from Tony Morgan, owner of a commercial property located at 11 West Seneca Street, for use of public space in order to install a new patio and sidewalks. Anyone here to discuss that? Oh, Jeff.
So there's a couple pictures in your packet here. The first one is the current picture of that property now, what was formerly the Office Tavern, currently houses the Yacht Club, I believe. If you remember a few years ago, there's been an awning kind of out to the sidewalk over that property with an outdoor patio for years. In a storm, that was lost. They had a temporary set up there for a while that had to be taken down because it was temporary. So if you look at that second view, they're basically looking to improve that whole property front along First Street with a new metal roof, new lighting, planter boxes, stampcrete concrete. And I'd had a conversation with Counselor Meyer today. They are looking to replace that sidewalk as part of their project, but they do have to, as the picture shows, keep those planters back on the other side of the sidewalk, and everything has to stay inside of that, because we have to have a clear path through there that meets ADA.
Any questions? Counselor Kennedy.
Yeah, so those trees, they're gonna be planted there as well, that are in the picture, correct? Or is that just right rendition, like an artist rendition?
It's part of the rendition, but I think that's part of their plan is for trees.
The only reason I'm bringing that part up is because the trees are great, just they seem kind of close to the sidewalk, and I feel like when they get bigger, the, you know, roots might upheave that. We'll have to look at that sidewalk again, and like, you know, down the road, but eventually.
Certainly always a concern with trees is 40, 50 years ago, there was a lot of maples and a lot of trees that have massive roots planted. As we plant trees and replace trees now, they're going to like Japanese lilacs, trees that don't have that kind of root system. That's what we're replacing. I'm no arborist, but talking to the tree advisory and the tree crew, they've replaced up on Erie and Fifth. Some have been replaced, and we're putting some more in. We go to trees that don't have that type of root system to prevent that from happening in the future.
Because the sidewalk looks like it's their project, but eventually that sidewalk will be city property, I imagine, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so that was the only thing, but, okay, no, that's cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Any more questions, concerns? Can I have a motion, please? Counselor Plunkett. Counselor Ashline, roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Ashline.
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy.
Yes.
Item 4, the city clerk's office has received a request for use of public space from Michelle Horgan of the Oswego Health Foundation in order to place 3 18-inch by 24-inch yard signs in various city locations in order to promote their For Your Health 5K health and wellness event. I'm not sure if she was going to make it tonight. I did talk with her this afternoon. The only concern I had was the length of time she wanted the signs up. And what she told me was that they were trying to get as many participants as possible, and she thought that the length that the signs would be up would help in that regard. So, any more questions, comments? Councilor Ashline.
Does it say in here when the signs are coming down?
They come down August 10th. The program is August 8th.
Yeah, okay. So the following Monday, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Any more questions? Could I have a motion, please? Councilor Plunkett, Councilor Ashline, roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Ashline.
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy.
Yes.
Item 5, the Office of Economic Development requests authorizations for use of public space at the Cahill Pier to host an American Cruise Line send-off ceremony on Saturday, May 23rd, 2026. I did talk with Maddie and Abby. They gave me some insight on it. I don't know if the mayor might have some more insight than I have onto it. Okay. It's their, I guess that's their first send-off for their cruise clients stopping at Oswego. So she said it would be like 20 minutes or 25 minutes just to show our appreciation for them, you know, bringing their lines here and helping our tourism trade. So that's, any questions, comments? Could I have a motion? Councilor Kennedy, Councilor Ashline, roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Ashline.
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy.
Yes.
Item 6, the Office of Economic Development requests authorization for use of public space at Veteran Stage to host a concert as part of Summer Concert Series Thursday, August 27, 2026. Anyone here to talk about that? Okay, I did talk to Maddie about this afternoon, and that's just a continuation of their concert series that they're having. I guess it was interrupted or could be interrupted by the cruise line dates, so they just wanted to extend it. So that's what you told me. Any questions, comments? Motion, please. Councilor Plunkett. Councilor Kennedy. Roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer.
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett.
Yes.
Counselor Ashline.
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy.
Yes.
Item 7, the Office of Economic Development has received a request for use of public space from Ken Oyer to host Rachel's Warrior Run starting at Brightbeck Park on Saturday, August 22nd, 2026 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Is there anyone here to speak on that?
Good afternoon or good evening, council members. My name is Elizabeth Allen, and I'm here on behalf of Rachel's Warrior Run Incorporated. And if you're not familiar with us, this year would be our second annual 5K run walk event. And Rachel's Warrior Run is established for my daughter, to honor my daughter's memory, and if you don't remember, I'm sorry, to honor my daughter's memory. And Rachel Michelle Allen was taken from us on July 13th, 2024, here in the city of Oswego via a very tragic event. And so our race is, like I said, to honor her memory and also to raise awareness about violence against women, and to also show our deep appreciation for the first responders that are so critical to, in these types of events. So we had our first inaugural event last year. You guys approved it, thank you very much, out of Brightbeck Park. And I wanted to share with you some of the impacts from last year's event. We were able to make from last year's event. We were able to donate $2,500 to Oswego County Opportunities Safe Services to Aid Families program. We were able to donate $1,000 to Christina's House of Hope, which is here in Oswego, in the city of Oswego, and serves women that find themselves homeless or displaced in some way. And a lot of times that homelessness and displacement stems from domestic violence. But so we were able to give them $1,000, and then something that we're very proud of is that we worked with CNY, Central New York Emergency Medical Services, this past year to establish two $500 scholarships for folks going through an EMT training program. So our first two scholarships should be awarded this month. The folks, we don't know who they are yet. They're in the middle of, well, I think they finish up their training this month. But anyway, they'll be selected by their instructors, and their instructor will look at them as, what type of student they are, and they'll also, look at their need, because they're not going through training for no cost. But anyway, so we're very excited about being able to give out these two scholarships, and we hope to be able to, do more as we move forward. And then we also, we want to support, local youth. We want to add to help them develop their confidence, empower them so that, they, down the road, they don't find themselves in situations like my daughter found herself. So we supported youth programming through Oswego Jiu-Jitsu, Master Priors Taekwondo America, the Oswego Elks Lodge, their youth program. So anyway, that's what we've done so far, and we look to do more of that. And so I just wanted to, thank you for the opportunity to share, what Rachel's Warrior Run is about, what our mission is, and I, very thankful for your consideration of approving our event for this year. It is scheduled to be August 22nd. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Any questions, comments? Councilor Kennedy.
Do you have a rain date, or is it rain or shine? Like rain or shine?
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's going to be a sunny day.
It better be.
Let's hope so.
It was last year. We had beautiful.
We got another
weather.
one coming.
Yeah.
Any more
Thank you.
questions, comments? Could I have a motion, please? Councilor Kennedy, Councilor Ashline. Roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer?
Yes.
Counselor Fournier?
Yes.
Counselor Ashland?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Item 8, the Office of Economic Development has received a request for use of public space from Graham Barney to host the Harbor Fest Party in the Park at Water Street Square on Friday, July 24th, Saturday, July 25th, and Sunday, July 26th, 2026, from 12 p.m. until 8 p.m. each day. Sir.
Hello, city representatives. For those who don't know me, I'm Graham Barney, and I'm representing the Harbor Fest Sponsorship Committee. I'm here in regards to the Harbor Fest Party in the Park at Water Street Square. I'm also the CEO of Snacks Enterprises, and I'm an attending member of the small business meetings in Oswego. I joined the Harbor Fest Sponsorship Board in the past year in hopes to better relations with local businesses and add more vibrant density downtown while people are visiting the event. In the past 3 years of being in business downtown, I previously threw a snacks party in the park the Saturday of Harbor Fest, featuring local vendors, music, and artists for people passively checking out these things while they're on the way to the main festival grounds. The only main difference between this model that I'm presenting and ones that have worked in the past is it's going to be under the umbrella of Harbor Fest. Been working close with the new board members and leaders, Craig and other sponsorship committee members, to get their seal of approval as well as policies for what's going to be happening, as in who's playing, who's vending, etc. And also, instead of it just being Saturday, we're looking to have it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from noon to 8. We're going to have New York State certified security on standby there with communications to be able to communicate, contain, and control if anything were to happen. But in the previous years, the logistics and infrastructure for this event, I feel like, speaks for itself. We have not had any issues. We've had nothing but support, smiles, and good times from this event, and we're looking to do this with the intention of bettering relations with local businesses.
Questions, comments? I have one. Have you, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Councilor Fitzgibbons.
So who's the applicant? Is it you or Harbor Festivals?
I'm the one that is spearheading this event particularly, so I'm going to be the one that's going to be the main representative of this micro event, but it is under the umbrella of Harbor Fest.
So it'll fall under a Harbor Fest?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that was my question. I appreciate that.
My question, have you talked with Chief Katie? Have you had any interaction with him?
Well, in the past, sir, we have had this event. A very similar model. The only difference is it's going to be a couple days in comparison just to the one. But we haven't had any issues in the past, but I'm happy to be in harmony and communicate with the police force any way that is needed.
Checking in again. Haven't been any issues in the past. It's a great event.
Okay.
I think expanding it will be good for the downtown area.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, Chief. Any more questions, comments? Motion, please. Councilor Plunkett, Councilor Ashline. Roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer?
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Ashland?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Uh-oh, my computer just went bad. Uh-oh. What happened? I'm in trouble. Oh, there we go. Okay. Item 9. The Office of Economic Development has received a request from the Oswego Public Library for use of public space to host story time in the park at Washington Square Park on Wednesdays from July 8th to August 12th, 2026, from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I did contact the library. I guess they've done this in the past. It's 1 hour. The person that actually applied is off until Thursday. So I did talk to one of the representatives over there, and it's just story time in the square, and I think it's probably a good thing for the kids on a summer afternoon or a summer morning. Questions, comments? Motion, please. Councilor Kennedy, Councilor Ashline. Roll call?
Counselor Meyer?
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Ashline?
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Item 10, the Office of Economic Development has received requests from Trevor Jorgensen and Steve Deffren for use of public space at Breakback to host the Oswego City Summer Band Series on Wednesday evenings from June 24th to August 16th, 2026. I talked to, I believe it was Steve, over the weekend. They couldn't be here only because they had prior commitments. And it's gone on in the past, so I really can't see anything. I think it's a great thing for the community. So I would urge us to vote yes. Comments, questions? Motion, please. Counselor Plunkett, Counselor Kennedy. Roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer,
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Ashline,
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy.
Yes.
Item 11, approve fee waiver request for Racing's Biggest Block Party. On this one, they want us to waive the fees for trash, road closure, bandstand, and generator. I have talked with the mayor on this. We have discussed this a little bit. My feeling is that I don't think we should waive everything. I think it would be fair to split it. I would like to amend this motion in a way that the city would cover the trash removal and the road closure at $550. Dirt Week would cover the bandstand at $500. We would cut the generator in half, so they're $550. So we'd split it in half. They would pay $550 and the city would pay $550. It's a free event. You know, they're hosting it. They wanted the bandstand, so I thought, you know, it'd be appropriate for them to pay for the bandstand. Questions, comments?
I make a motion to amend, as amended, as you had stated.
Okay, I think we're going to have to just put in for amendment on this, Kevin?
That's fine.
Okay. I'm sorry, Craig.
Counselors, I believe the wage fee for the band stage includes the generator. The $500 fee of the stage includes the generator, so long as they're using the generator for the stage.
Oh, okay. I was
Because
under the
the
impression
power
'cause
requirements for the new stage is 50 amp, which isn't available. So, council, you should take that into consideration.
Okay. Thank you, Craig. Any questions or comments on that? Would it be okay for us to cover the trash and the road closure and Dirt Week would pick up the bandstand? Any comments on that? Questions? So Igor, I guess we'll have to amend it to read, okay, you already got it. Good man. Okay, could I have a motion as amended?
You make a motion to amend.
Okay. Yeah, okay, sorry, Igor. Motion to amend. Counselor Kennedy, Counselor Ashline.
Counselor Meyer,
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Ashline,
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy.
Yes.
Motion is amended. Counselor Kennedy, Counselor Ashline.
Counselor Meyer,
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Ashline,
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy.
Yes.
I thought that was going to be the easy one. All right. Item 12, Craig Rebuor, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, has received a request from Blaine McClellan on behalf of Oswego Admirals Hockey for use of public space located at Christopherly Rink to host hockey games on Saturday evenings. Craig, you want to, someone want to talk on this? Okay.
Council, how we doing?
We're doing good.
Did you have any, did I come up for questions, or?
Yeah, I mean, is it a rental type thing, or?
Yeah,
is
we'll
it-
be renting the space from the city.
Okay, because that wasn't,
Nice to meet you.
Council, Craig Revier, Commissioner of Public Works. We received this request from Blaine. We had some questions, you know, we had issues previously with locker room space and such. The proposal before you, they're going to come and play games on Saturday nights when we usually have empty ice. So we welcome, I'd like to ask the council to welcome the Admirals, and we welcome the additional revenue to the rink to help maintain it.
Yeah.
okay. Counselor Fitzgibbons.
Oswego can't have enough hockey, so welcome. Yeah, we're happy to have you here.
And figure skating.
Yeah, and figures, but it kind of raises a question. You know, it's a facility rental of sorts.
Yes.
And it comes to us as a use of public space, which we don't usually see these come this way. And I know you have other organizations, like the Figure Skating Club, who have regular agreements for use of those facilities. So will this rise to a point at some point where we'll consider it differently, or will it always come before us as a use of public space request?
The difference here is the Admirals are going to charge admission.
Okay.
That's why with the request to use.
So that's why,
space.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you have your pre-prescribed hourly charges in place for the use of the facility as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you visit those every year to make sure they're reflective, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's my question.
Any more questions, comments? Could I have a motion, please? Counselor Plunkett, Counselor Ashline. Roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer,
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Ashline,
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy.
Yes.
Item 13, Craig Rebior, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, has received a request from Elizabeth Bonner on behalf of Oswego County Opportunities for use of public space to place an Oswego County Healthy Mile sign in Brightbeck Park. This is a rescind and replace. Is this part of the motion that we voted on earlier this year of how many signs she wanted?
Yes, councilors are familiar. We had the organization identified incorrectly in the previous, it was Oswego County. It's actually Oswego County Opportunities. That's the change in your resolution.
Okay, but they wanted to put a couple signs down there?
Yes, a couple signs in Brightbeck Park for that, for the Healthy Mile program.
Any more questions, comments? Have a motion, please. Counselor Ashline, Counselor Kennedy. Roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer,
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Ashline,
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy.
Yes.
Okay, the next item, item 14. Chairman William Meyer requests discussion regarding the cities of Oswego's rules and regulations surrounding the signs, yard signs. When I put this on, I didn't realize it was going to be quite as elongated meeting as we're about to have tonight. So we might want to keep this, try to keep it short. If we have anybody in the audience that'd like to speak, and then I would like to see.
Good evening, Common Council. Brandon Walker, 5th Ward. So I've spoken briefly to Councilor Meyer and Councilor Fitzgibbons about this. To keep it short, I just ask, obviously all of you guys are aware, just to reconsider what we have currently. Obviously tonight you're allowing in committee to pass for certain people to have yard signs in public space. I want you all to consider as well for small businesses, medium businesses, to put yard signs in their own private property, because the current ordinance is kind of weird, is the best way I can describe that. So this is just a reconsideration to look into it better and allow small businesses, medium businesses to have it on their private property for residential areas. So, thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
No problem.
Councilor Caracoli, would you, just a couple of questions. We've heard in the past that there was a Supreme Court ruling on signs, and could you elaborate a little bit on that so we have somewhere to go with this?
So, yeah, I guess the question really is whether municipalities in New York State are authorized to regulate yard signs, which is primarily what we're talking about here, but it could be any sign, right? It's not specific to yard signs. In fact, Councilor Myers, you gave me a copy of a portion of the zoning regulations, Article 8, dealing with signs. In 2020, the council adopted the sign regulations primarily in response to, as the purpose says, the proliferation of for rent signs in residential neighborhoods and the undesirable image that having for rent signs indefinitely in windows kind of projected as a community, right? That kind of contrary to some of the things that we've been trying to do in revitalizing neighborhoods, keeping them alive and well. And so this regulation was adopted in 2020. It doesn't prohibit signs necessarily. It regulates them as it relates to various zones and for residential uses when located on immediate property without first obtaining permission from the city, in particular the Code Enforcement Department. So such signs as for rent, for sale signs are to be, can be placed with the permission of the code office, but then would have to be removed 10 days after the sale, lease, or rent of a premises. It goes on from there, but fundamentally and constitutionally, communities across the state and across the nation, I would contend, as the chairman pointed out, in Supreme Court action, the issue of signs it usually pops up during political season, right? The general rule of thumb is that communities can regulate the time, the place, and the manner of signs, but cannot regulate the content of that sign. That any regulations trying to control the content of a sign has to be what the courts have said is content neutral. So in other words, you have to apply the regulations equally to all signs. You can't pick and choose what sign you like, what sign you don't like. You know, and again, through the campaigns, you saw that one side's promoting a particular derogatory statement towards an individual, and then across the street there's a similar sign, right? Those signs are permitted because in a community you can't treat one differently than another. What you can do is regulate, for instance, the size and the height of a sign. You can regulate the placement of that sign and the duration of the sign, right? So time, place, and manner. You could regulate, and this chapter does regulate the size of signs, for instance. Can only be on I believe, for rent signs, for instance, can only be displayed inside a window of a residential dwelling, one for sale sign not exceeding 5 square feet in area. Those are regulations. Now, they haven't been tested constitutionally, but at the very least I would contend they regulate the time, place, and manner, not necessarily the content. Even though this says for sale and for rent, it could say anything.
So I think the problem would come into, I know I've gotten a few calls on this from landlords that want to rent properties, and I know that was the issue back when they were doing this. I was in the gallery out there.
Yeah.
And I understand what the city was getting at. They had signs all over the place, and for rent signs from complaints from residents said that it was, you know, demeaning to their neighborhoods. However, if the Supreme Court has ruled that we can't actually regulate what's on the sign, if we allow yard signs for, say, roofing contractors or for sale signs, even if they got a permit, would that allow them to put that sign up?
Well, I think the law tries to address that. One ground sign per lot shall be allowed by special permit in a TN1, TN2, SR, and UR residential district for, well, in this case, licensed professional offices, if such offices are allowed therein, are allowed, that are otherwise allowed in those districts by special permit. I guess I guess what you're getting at, if I understand you, is that, you know, you're regulating for rent signs, but what about, you know, roofer for hire or anybody else, right? And again, that's content. Can't necessarily discriminate. We're going to regulate for rent and for sale signs, but we're not going to regulate, you know, person for hire signs. What you can do is regulate again, the time, place, and manner, right? Mm-hmm. So the and there are safety concerns, right? So if it blocks pedestrian access or vehicular access, those are legitimate concerns that the courts have said a community can regulate, and usually it's done by way of size, right? There's also the duration, right? So how many days it can go up. Do you want a sign up indefinitely? Again, municipalities have the right to consider all of that. I'm not suggesting there's one easy answer for all of this, but we could certainly look at Article 8 signs and see if it's worth tweaking. You know, 6 years now, and, you know, points have been raised that are good points, and certainly not opposed to taking another look at it to make sure it does, you know, meet constitutional muster.
Okay. Does anybody else? Councilor Fitzgibbon.
Time, place, and
Manner.
location.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good things to do, but I also look practically that real estate signs of 5 feet, square feet, that's 2 foot by 2.5 foot. I'm sure we could check most of the real estate signs that are commonly made. None of them are made 2 foot by 2.5 foot. They're probably 30 by 24. They're bigger than that.
Sure.
You know, so they shouldn't be significantly bigger, but we ought to at least be consistent with what a Century 21 or a Howard Hanna sign will typically see in the community. And so, and to be consistent with that would probably be appropriate. You know, and the other thing is if those signs require a walkthrough to zoning to put up, do we want to be in that business? You know, and the question is, do we want to have a requirement that we know is not going to be followed? Because it's practically impractical. It's impractical to have every nuance of real estate sign that comes and goes managed by us. And you know, in the same regard, I get the fact we don't want to have someone camp out a for rent sign in front of a desirable place and use it as bait to solicit tenants looking for places, thinking that that place is available, and use it to be the magnet to get a flow of tenants for other locations. You know, that would be if we didn't have a duration of how a sign and how long a sign could run. So I think it was a good topic to bring up. I don't know that we're going to generally get the answers tonight, but there's
No.
there's a few
This was
issues
just a
that
start discussion.
we need to clean up.
Yeah.
There is, I will just add one other, just as a public information, I know I sent it to Chairman Myers already, but the state of New York has put out a very good publication, Municipal Control of Signs. It's a 75-page document.
Yes, it is. I copied it.
If you want to read it, I can send you a link. We can make it available. It's in the public domain, so anyone can pull it up. It's a little dated. 2010 was the last time it was revised, as far as I could tell, but the material is still valid and relevant.
Okay.
Encourage you to.
Kevin, oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Councilor Levin.
I was going to ask you, could you just forward us the link?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yep, happy to.
To continue this discussion, do we need a motion, or how does that work?
I mean, unless there's an action to be taken from this
We don't need a
discussion,
motion.
it's been a discussion.
Okay.
I think to be continued would be the way to go, but
Okay.
I'm not hearing of any action at the moment.
No.
So if there is none, then probably, if that's the last item
Yep,
on your
that's it.
agenda, probably a motion to adjourn, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, no more discussion. So could I have a motion to adjourn Physical Services Committee meeting? Councilor Kennedy, Councilor Ashline. Roll call, please.
Counselor Meyer,
Yes.
Counselor Plunkett,
Yes.
Counselor Ashline,
Yes.
Counselor Kennedy.
Yes. All right, so we'll call the Human Services Committee to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Counselor Kennedy,
Here.
Counselor Thompson,
Here.
Counselor Ashline.
Here.
First order, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the March 16th, 2026 committee meeting? Counselor Ashline, Counselor Thompson?
Counselor Kennedy,
Yes.
Counselor Thompson,
Yes.
Counselor Ashline.
Yes.
I don't see any old business at this time, so new business. Authorization number 1, Police Chief Phil Cady requests authorization to enter into an agreement with Helio Health Incorporated for an embedded mental health clinician, and further authorization for the City Chamberlain to execute payment for monthly invoices related to same.
Thanks, Councilor Kennedy. Good evening, everyone. In 2022, we started planning for the co-responder embedded mental health clinician program to help with our homelessness problem in the city. At the time, we secured $150,000 in grants from then Senator Mannion and $75,000 in grant money from the Shinneman Foundation. April 2024, we partnered with Helio Health, and we started our program. We brought on Gina Vaughn, who's here somewhere in the back. Since its inception, the program has grown a lot. It's become more than just dealing with our homeless population. Gina regularly helps with mental health calls, domestic disputes, death notifications, juvenile problems. The program has really grown, taken on a life of its own. So this request is to pay the invoices to get us through the rest of the year. We knew we were going to hit this point eventually when the grant money running out. So after conversations with Councilor Fitzgibbons and Councilor Kennedy, we felt this would be the best meeting to bring this up. It's not a budget amendment. I'm not asking for a specific amount. I think after looking at the average amount of monthly invoices that we get from Helio Health, $65,000 should get us through the rest of the year. And then in our discussions for the 2027 budget, which will be coming up, we'll discuss the program and possibly expanding it. But now I'd like to invite Tanya Lyons from Helio Health. She's going to give a little talk about the program, and then we'll answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, councilors, for having us. The City of Oswego's co-response model of embedding a mental health clinician within the Oswego Police Department has become an essential component of our public safety and behavioral health response system. The program has proven to be highly effective, data-driven, and addresses individuals in crisis while also supporting law enforcement and improving community outcomes. Last year in 2025 alone, a single clinician, Gina Vaughn, responded to 225 immediate calls for service and managed 717 total client-related encounters, including in-person crisis responses, follow-ups, and care coordination. The program served over 300 unique individuals, with nearly half of those referrals originating directly from 911 dispatch, demonstrating its critical role in frontline crisis response. Beyond the immediate interventions, the program facilitated 81 direct connections to critical services, including mental health treatment, substance use care, housing, and primary care, which has contributed to helping stabilize individuals and reduce repeat system involvement. The model not only reduces the burden on patrol officers, but also ensures that individuals experiencing mental health or substance use crises are met with appropriate specialized care. It strengthens continuity by following up with individuals after law enforcement contact, helping prevent repeat crises, unnecessary hospitalizations, and avoidable justice system involvement. Continued funding for the remainder of 2026 is critical to sustain this proven high-impact program. Without it, the city risks losing a vital resource that reduces strain on law enforcement, improves outcome for vulnerable residents, and strengthens coordination across systems of care. I think we can probably save the expansion chat for when you guys are talking about your budget for 2027. Thank you.
Questions? Yes. Did you say, so Gina responded to all those all by herself, those 700 and some odd?
So 225 were direct in-person responses co-responding with a law enforcement officer or more than one law enforcement officer. The rest are follow-up to those calls and other referrals that she did respond to on her own.
Wow, okay. Any other comments, concerns?
At my monthly meetings, Chief Cady and several officers have been there throughout the 3 months I've had them, and this topic has come up on several occasions, and they've had nothing but good things to say about this program. So I would definitely encourage us to keep it going.
I'll add to that. You know, I think this is an area that Gina, there's been nothing but positive things of the impact Gina's had to the community. When you look at caregiving and what 24/7 is as it relates to public service and first responders, you know, that leaves a lot of time that might not have all the resources that would be necessary and the problems that the community faces. And these are crisis, people in crisis. And I think having the resources in addition to Gina, but what we can do to expand that will, I think, minimize the impact to our first responders in the fire department and the public health system that we serve, the emergency room, you know, all the other things that demand resources can be helped by the program. So, you know, thank you very much. Thank you, Phil, for championing it. And I think it's on us to work together to find resources to make this work beyond where it is right now, because it's certainly a good example of what does work. And certainly we've heard the voices of other mental health providers and people dealing with a crisis population, and it's a mosaic of what we need to do. There's not one way we're going to do it, and I think we all, if we coordinate these things well and allocate resources smartly, we'll be better. Thank you.
And this is the direction that the country is moving with these embedded clinicians in law enforcement departments. So we've seen a lot of success across the country with it.
And we're probably the first program in Central New York, if not one of the first programs in Central New York, and we're slowly becoming a model program.
Yep. Good.
I know with like your leadership, Chief, you've done a lot of good things for the department, and with this mental health clinician with Gina, it's been really great for the community. And I know that a lot of the officers get their training, but they're not trained all the way with what mental health providers can do and help with. So I agree with Councilor Fitzgibbons to hopefully we can look at the budget for next year and expand on this. So I'm all for this. So.
And that was one of the things, when we originally looked at building this program, we thought about having the clinician as a city employee, but once we got looking at it with certifications, it's a better idea to go through a program like Helio Health.
Absolutely.
And we have deep experience with this in other areas too. We don't have an embedded clinician in other law enforcement departments, but we ride along and work very closely with other law enforcement as well. So we have a great deal of experience in this arena. And, you know, Gina can only provide so much time. So we really do hope that we are able to provide this community with another clinician one day to serve more of the 24 hours that exist in the day. Crises can't be predicted, so.
Yep. Great.
And the follow-up component is huge for us, because our guys can only do, and guys and girls can only do what they can do, right? If they have to take somebody in for a mental health evaluation, they're able to do that, but the follow-up afterward is the key component to all of this. And having Gina able to do that is very important.
Good.
Councilor Thompson?
Based on the number of calls that you get, mental health related, drug related, how many resources do you actually need? Because I see we're adding one next year. Do we actually need more than just one? Or more than two total?
No, I think if we have two to cover more hours, that will be sufficient. And, you know, that's a conversation we can have as a group when we're doing the budget meetings. But certainly down the road, as conditions may change, it might be something that we can look at.
One other quick question. Have you, I see Officer Lomas is in the audience, is grants looking at, or this grant I know is currently been exhausted, but is there more? Or?
Yeah, so right now I'm having discussions with the county, and there's opioid settlement funding, money that they have that they can allocate, in early discussions with them to help with the program. Most of the grants that are available right now are for new programs that are starting up, and so we're kind of well ahead of that curve, but we're constantly looking. And I have to give Sergeant Lummis some props on this. I discussed my idea with him when this was in its early inception, and he kind of took it and ran with it, and we looked at other programs, and he definitely dogged it and got us a lot of grant funding for it, so give him credit for that.
You have found some third parties to bill for the services as well, so that's what's stretched out your ability to run. So, I mean, obviously, that also has a benefit, you know, a reimbursable service.
For sure. In an ideal world, we would bill for all of the services. However, in the mental health world, you really need consent to bill. And so we're dealing with a population that isn't typically ready to put pen to paper.
And we understand that, but that's certainly a benefit that you wouldn't have realized when you probably started it to the extent that you're able to
That's
extend it.
within the last year, we've started
Right,
that.
well, that's very good.
Any other questions or concerns? Can I get a motion? Counselor Thompson? Counselor Ashline?
Counselor Kennedy?
Yes.
Counselor Thompson?
Yes.
Counselor Ashline?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
You guys.
Authorization number 2, Chairman Chance Kennedy, request discussion regarding Mental Health Awareness Month. So at this time, I was hoping there would be some people in the audience that would like to discuss mental health awareness and any services that are offered, things like that. Anybody wants to come up?
Hi. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Aaron Stark, and I work for Farnham Family Services as an admitting clinician. And my primary duty is to assess people when they come in for, substance use disorders and, mental health screening. And what I've seen is the direct correlation with mental health and substance use disorder. So what it is, the American Psychiatric Association recognizes substance use disorder as a chronic brain disease. It's what it is. It's reoccurring, and it's treatable. And it's not like it's, a lack of willpower or anything. It's just, it's unfortunate, but it's what it is. At the end of the day, it's all mental health. And what I've seen personally is clients will come through and will already either have pre-existing mental health diagnoses, a lot of times undiagnosed or untreated. And what has happened is they end up using substances to treat their symptoms, which, fast forward a short period of time, could be a longer length of time, end up addicted to the substances. And on the other end of the coin, there's people that have come through that as a result of just prolonged recreational use of substances, end up developing mental health disorders as a result. So they both go hand in hand, and I'm glad that we're actually talking about it more recently. So that's all I had. Any questions? Mm-hmm.
You mentioned you're from Farnham. Is
Yeah.
that the site that's developing on George Street?
Yeah.
That's your new location?
We're excited. The end of July. It's probably going to be the second week in August, but they're saying the last week in July right now. We're very excited about that. So we have some contracts with the bus and some different transportation resources. Going to make things a lot easier for people to gain access to services.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Anybody else that would like to speak?
Hello, I work with Oswego County Opportunities. I oversee the behavioral health services. Within our program, we offer mental health services. We offer residential housing. So we have a group home or group residence that offers 10 beds to individuals who have a severe mental illness. We also have a transitional living apartment treatment program that is up to 30 beds. We're still waiting for a couple to come online, but we do have 30 slated there. It's also something we've expanded across the county. So we have units that we're getting ready to open in Pulaski and Mexico, I think. So we have those. Within those units, we work with our guys to learn daily living skills, symptom management, medication management. We work with them to learn how to successfully manage their own lives. So we work as almost in hand with case management. So we will go to appointments with them. We will assist them in advocating. The supervised residence is 24 hours. Our apartment treatment isn't 24 hours, but we have 24-hour on-call. so they have access to staff whenever they need them. We also have a crisis bed. So the crisis bed provides short-term crisis services and supportive counseling to adults. So all of these services are 18 and older. And that bed is in our 24-hour supervised residence. So there is a short application for both processes. The crisis bed is a little bit easier to get into because it is a short-term respite. Whereas with our supervised resident in our apartment treatment program, it is a little bit of a longer process because we have to verify the mental health, we have to verify the length, and ensure it's an appropriate setting. We also have a mental health supportive housing program. This one's pretty cool. She has 65 vouchers, and she offers financial assistance to secure independent housing within the community for folks with mental illness. So she works hand in hand to maintain the apartments within the community. The lease is in their name. The program just pays a portion of the rent and then assists with anything that comes up throughout the month. They also provide a case management, so they go in, they visit with the folks every month, and make sure everything's going okay there. Sorry. We also have, within OCO, sort of underneath this behavioral health umbrella, is our Arbor House, which is a substance use supervised residence, so that's 24 hours, 16 beds, and that is out in Hannibal. We also have an SLP, so our supportive living program, also OASIS funded. But as Farnham was just saying, we do see a lot of that co-occurring, where we have folks who are medicating via substances to treat that mental health symptoms. Our OASIS, Arbor House, is men only, but we just started taking ladies into our apartment treatment program. So that's been very successful. Our wait list has almost doubled due to that. So we are seeing a need for that within our community. We also have some homeless services, but I know we're focusing on mental health today, so you guys have any questions?
Sure. How would people get a hold of these services? Is there a special number to call, or is it just the main number? How did people get a hold of
Yep, you could absolutely call the main number. They'll get you over to us. I can also give you my number afterwards if you'd like. I also brought some applications. I wasn't really sure what you guys were looking for here, so I did bring some of that stuff to give out. We do try to respond fairly quickly to any referrals we do get. We do sometimes have a wait list. We work with mental hygiene, SPOA, so single point of access. Occasionally with getting folks in, we work a lot with LOPDAL. We work with the inpatient unit, ACT team, who also, service our folks who are struggling with mental health. So.
You took my question.
Oh, you took the question. Sorry.
Yeah. You commented on a couple of supportive models that you do, and those are supportive housing models.
Yes, so we do have a supportive housing model. That model includes the consumer, so our resident is on the lease, so they sign the lease, and then the supportive housing program pays a large portion of the rent. So our guys only have to pay 30% of their income, which is where housing should be.
Right.
So that gives them a break and makes things affordable, because a lot of our guys are either on SSI or DSS.
And since it's a situational, you sign leases with the, so they're throughout the county, including in the city.
Yep.
But then you have a supportive model in Pulaski, you mentioned.
Yes, we do. Yep.
And that's a congregate house.
So yes, the apartments that we have out in Pulaski will be congregate. So we've got a couple things going in Pulaski. We also have an Eshai property that is, or we partnered with somebody in regards to Eshai, and that is for our homeless folks. That's also funded by OMH, which is the department, or the Office of Mental Health. So we do focus heavily on mental health within those ESHI units, Empire State Supportive Housing Initiative.
Sure.
So that is also one of the programs that are set up so people don't pay more than 30% of their income towards rent.
One of the voids that I, you know, I think I see is emergency supportive housing. You know, that's really a void in our community.
Yep.
Have you looked at programs that target the emergency supportive housing models that are out there? And the state has programs behind that as well with and certainly we wrestled with the supportive service with Haven of Hope.
Yeah.
But what happens outside of that? And it's not, we have warming shelters in the winter, but what else do we have?
Yeah, so I do think something like that would be amazing. I will say,
Well, that's what OCO is, amazing,
Yes.
right?
Well, yeah, yes.
You've got a month or two to come up with something and come back. Love to hear it though, because I really think that's a void we have. Emergency supportive housing, and if there's thoughts on that, I'd be interested in them.
Yes, and I do think that's important for us to know because that's a barrier, having the folks backing us in doing that. Like, folks still have to live somewhere, so we gotta bring them into the community.
But you need good partners with good plans.
Yes.
And so we're not going to get a good plan tonight.
No.
But I would say that that's clearly something that I think, you know, speaking for other counselors, I think we'd like to hear what that would look like.
Yeah.
Because the absence of that is not good. And we don't support the absence of it.
Perfect.
So we need to come up with a way to make that work.
Perfect.
That's why we got this, that's why I'm trying to get this discussion moving forward, so we can find solutions to these issues, like Haven of Hope, and things like that, so we can help with these, get these to a better place. I know there's no easy solution to anything, any of these real world problems, but baby steps in the right direction are the right direction that I feel like the city and the county, I imagine, would like to take to help at least rectify in a small way the issues that our residents undertake.
Yeah, it's definitely appreciated.
Thank you for speaking, appreciate that.
Great,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else at this time that would like to speak?
Good evening, councilors. My name is Clark Sargent. I serve as the Executive Director of Mental Health and Wellness for Oswego Health Mental Health and Wellness Division. Thank you, Councilor Kennedy, for inviting us to be here. I just want to start by echoing the value that, from the Oswego Health perspective, outside looking in, that the value that the OPD and Helio partnership brings. Our inpatient admissions have been very static for the last decade, and this last year we saw a decline of around 300 admission days. And while we can't correlate that entirely to a single event or a single response, we look back at what has changed over the last year and identified the Helio OPD partnership as one of those things that most likely contributed to a reduction in inpatient stays. So I just wanted to start by that piece, with that piece. I'd also like to thank the city. It's uncommon for a small city in a rural county to be as forward-thinking on mental health as this city has been. Just the fact that we're talking about this tonight, I think, is a meaningful step. Mental health is uncomfortable to talk about. Topics about self-harm and suicide are very intimate. And so it takes courage and intentionality to talk about them. According to the most recent Oswego County Community Needs Assessment, over 70% of respondents identified mental health and suicide as one of the most significant barriers facing the county. And sadly, their concerns are well placed. We see that Oswego County leads the 6 surrounding counties in suicides each year. And that's a statistic that Oswego Health takes very seriously. Our organization consists of 4 primary service lines. It's anchored, of course, by the psychiatric inpatient unit. So that unit takes patients that come through our ED and are assessed to need inpatient mental health treatment, and then are admitted to our inpatient unit. But we've also very recently, and we haven't announced this yet, but we have a meeting with our marketing team to announce this soon over the next few weeks. We're setting up a pilot program to admit patients directly to our inpatient unit straight through the Lobdell Center, which will avoid the need to go into the emergency room for assessment. Now that is not going to be for every person struggling from a mental health condition. Obviously, patients who are severely psychotic or manic will still need to go through the traditional process, but those who are voluntary, who meet some baseline medical requirements, who are deemed to be sober, will be able to have a higher level of access and faster access to inpatient psychiatric care. So we've already rolled that out kind of silently and done some test runs on that, and then we're going to be announcing that to the general public here within the next month. In addition to our inpatient psychiatric unit, our second service line is our outpatient mental health services. So that's primarily therapy and med management services. Of course, we provide that at the Lobdell Center, but we also have some outlier clinics in Fulton. Our third service line is our ACT program, and our ACT team is a small group that takes care into the community for the sickest individuals who can't access care at a centralized location. So our psychiatric nurse practitioners will go out into the community, meet people at home, do their assessments, make prescriptions right there. We have specialists of vocational, educational, housing specialists that will go out into the community and meet these individuals where they are. And we're serving currently just over 50 people in Oswego County with that, and a number of them right here within the city limits. And our last service line is our school-based program, which is continuing to grow. We found that accessing children in a central clinic is less effective than accessing them in the school. In the schools. We currently have therapists in almost all of the schools in Oswego City. And what we've seen is that when we have a captive audience, then we have a higher chance of impacting those kids. And it remains true that when children are developing, if we can get them engaged with mental health care at a younger age, outcomes are significantly improved. Councilman, I will echo your statement about emergency housing. One of the significant barriers to safe discharges from our inpatient unit is for emergency housing, and it's something that has the ability to undermine the success of that recovery. Somebody once famously said that when you have a house over your head, enough food, and your bills paid, your mental health problems get significantly less. And it's true. You know, it's not a very clinical statement, but that's true. So at that point, I'll wrap it up and say thank you again for inviting us to participate and ask if there's any questions.
Great, thank you for review.
The school program that you have, is that like elementary, middle, and high school, or is it all through, like K through 12?
Yep, we have therapists at all levels, and one of the challenges we realized was that there's a lot more elementary schools feeding into a single high school, or in some areas. So how do we seamlessly transition large groups of kids into a place with less access to care? So within the last year, we created a model where at the end of every year, each therapists from each school district meet together and do warm handoffs about who needs care, who can be transitioned, so that we can seamlessly move the kids who need care and prioritize the ones that need it most to be ready to meet with that therapist that's located right on site at that school system at the high school. And some districts are set up a little better for that than others, but that system has seemed to have a pretty positive effect on the continuity of care across the different school levels, the different educational levels. Good question.
Thank you. Anybody else? Councilor Lonsack?
Is that program run through Oswego Health?
It is,
Okay.
yeah. We're in 14 schools across Oswego County. We just launched a partnership with Mexico BOCES, and the demand there has been so significant that we may embed a second therapist very soon there. Not every school in the city of Oswego has taken advantage of our offer to have a therapist on site. It's of no cost to the school, and we believe very strongly that that's where the value is. And if you look at the literature, we do have a dedicated youth clinic in Fulton, but the number of visits and the amount of care we're providing continues to dwindle at that location and continues to expand at the schools, and some schools that even have wait lists. So we'd love to be in every school in Oswego City, and there's some schools I think that are on the verge of expanding within the school, going from a single therapist to multiple therapists on site. And we don't replace school counselors. We supplement that care, so the therapists represent kind of a more acute or critical need, so the care could be escalated from a school counselor up to one of our mental health therapists. And it's of no cost to the city, no cost to the school. We have a billing model straight through our own organization to handle all that. All we need is the space.
Anybody else would like to ask questions?
Great, thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to speak? Chief Gonzalez?
Evening, councilors. I just want to applaud you for bringing this topic up. In the first responder community, we're not, we're seeing it affect us too. I've been on calls with Gina and Chief Gate and his gang, and she does a great job. They need more help. And, we just going through, over the years, we take safety training, and the safety topics over the years for firefighters sometimes has to do with, cardiac issues, cancer issues. Now, mental health is always at the forefront. So it's always talked about, and we're trying to find, what you're doing is adjusting and bringing topics up, and sometimes that it's going to be a catalyst for change. So I applaud you all for that. You're seeing it already at the police department, and we're at the fire department. We are bringing up. We're trying to change as well. So we're looking at more culturally competent clinicians. In Danielle's office and personnel, we have EAP, Employee Assistance Program. Everybody in the city has it. We've used it. But what we're finding is we need culturally competent clinicians to deal with first responders. Firemen, police, see some things that you can't unsee. So it's important. So thanks for bringing it up, and keep up the good work. Yeah.
Chief, could you tell us a little bit more about the program that's offered to city employees that you just referenced?
The Employee Assistance Program?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe it's through Kraus Help People. That's our contracted vendor. I think we've had it for a long time. And so it's an anonymous thing. The cards are posted. So when I talk about change, I mean, we've all had the posters in our offices. We hand out cards to new employees. My point is sometimes that's not enough, and you got to catch people before they fall in, so to speak. So try to get as much information out there as you can. So that's a good program, and I think we could do a little more. We have local, great local help here. So yeah, it's available. It's available to all city employees, and I'm sure Danielle can get more information out about that. So.
I'm going to put Oswego Health on the spot. Don't you love me now?
Would it be possible to do a partnership with our first responders?
We would love to participate in that. I mean, we can throw a rock and hit the fire department from our location. So, not that we're going to throw anything. But yeah, so one of the things that we've looked to do more recently is to find ways to do education or better connection within the community. One of the things that we recognize is that there's such a small number of helpers in Oswego County and in the city, and each one brings something unique to the table, and no one organization can fill the void. It's got to be multifaceted. So the more that we can interconnect with other partners, whether it's local municipalities or nonprofit operators, we're very happy to participate with that.
Thanks, Brian. Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Is there anybody else who would like to speak?
Hello. I'm very grateful to be a part of this conversation. I'm very grateful that you're making it happen. This past winter, we saw a lot of serious mental health that was untreated, and it's just great that we're bringing it to the forefront in the community's eyes so that we can learn and grow as a community. I think we're trying to open by June 1st, which would be very happy for all the people that come to our agency. We've had a lot of messages every day. Are you open yet? Are you open yet? Are you open yet? They just want somewhere to go where they feel accepted and loved and connected to resources. So we're very excited to be opening soon and to partner with all the other local agencies in town. That's all.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel.
Is there anybody else who would like to speak this time? Oh, what?
I'd like to thank Councilor Kennedy for bringing this up and spearheading this discussion on the mental health. I guess I wasn't aware that it was that prevalent in Oswego, and he's brought it to the forefront, and I think I would like to thank him personally for that. Thank you.
I'd like to say that as well, and I'd also like to remind that came up on last council meeting, 988 is the crisis line. It's 24/7, it's confidential, it's free. It's a resource that, whether it's substance, mental health, or any other issues, it's the equivalent of calling the fire department and the police department, and so people should be familiar with it. And they'll connect you up to the resources in our community. So that should be a judgment-free, like employee assistance programs are judgment-free. These are judgment-free resources that should be more readily talked about, more readily used, because we all sit at kitchen tables and we're at tables ourselves where issues like this are happening every day. Thank you again.
Thank you. And I've personally used 988 myself, so I know it's a great resource for when you're in a really bad crisis. So it's I would recommend 988 for everybody that is in that situation. Hopefully you're not, but times happen, and it's definitely a great resource to have. That being said, authorization number 3. Chairman Chance Kennedy requests an executive session to discuss proposed pending or current litigation. Can I have a motion?
Did you want to defer that?
Is there a motion for this, Igor? Yeah. Okay.
We'll
sorry
have
about that.
discussion.
What?
Could we include this in the executive session that's coming up?
Well, we have to
So
vote on it. We have to get this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Chairman Kennedy's correct. I would recommend that you vote on it, but then defer it to so that you can go into executive session on the 2 topics, the next committee. So you would vote to go in, but we wouldn't break yet. We would break at the second request.
Okay. So can I have a motion? So Councilor Ashline, Councilor Thompson?
Councilor Kennedy?
Yes.
Councilor Thompson?
Yes.
Councilor Ashline?
Yes.
And we will defer this until the next session. So at this time, can I get a motion to adjourn? Councilor Ashline, Councilor Thompson?
Councilor Kennedy?
Yes.
Councilor Thompson?
Yes.
Councilor Ashline?
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to call to order the Administrative Services Committee. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Plunkett?
Here.
Councilor Meyer?
Here.
Councilor Fitzgibbons?
Here.
Councilor Lautensack?
Here.
Councilor Ashline?
Here. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the April 20th, 2026 committee meeting, please? Councilor Lautensack, Councilor Meyer.
Councilor Plunkett?
Yes.
Councilor Meyer?
Yes.
Councilor Fitzgibbons?
Here. Yep.
Councilor Lautensack?
Yes.
Councilor Ashline?
Yes.
Is there any old business? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. Item 1 under authorization, Craig Rebuar, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, has received a request to accept the donation of a bench from Sarah Sunday on behalf of the Oswego County Office of the Aging to be located at Shapiro Park.
Good evening,
Hi.
counselors. Is it okay if I speak?
I'm sorry, I
Hi.
was going to move right through it.
Sorry. Yes. Good evening, counselors. I wasn't going to speak. I was going to kind of sit back there and just listen or wait and have you accept this donation. But after the conversation regarding mental health awareness and Mental Health Awareness Month, I wanted to give you a little more information about what this bench actually is. It's not just a bench going in the park, but as director of the Office for the Aging, we see a lot of loneliness and social isolationism. So one of our ways we're combating that is with these chat benches. And they are placarded with happy to chat. And if you sit down at that bench, be expected to have a conversation with someone. So as we age, one of the things we start losing people that are in our community circle. And it sometimes is harder to make new friends. So these benches can help connect people. And it's not just for older people as well, because there's a lot of younger people that are lonely and socially isolated. So these benches, this is one of 6 that are around the county to get people to come together and have a conversation. So that's really what this is. One way that we're looking in the Office for the Aging to bring people together and a safe place, and knowing that if they sit down, they can have a conversation.
Great. Any
Very
questions?
good idea.
Questions or comments? Councilor Lautensack?
I just think this is lovely. How many are we going to have?
There's going to be one here at Shapiro Park. There will be one at our office on Bunner Street, and then there's 4 others around the county. There's one in Mexico, Pulaski, Phoenix, and the city of Fulton. The most visible one right now is if you drive through Mexico, it's right there by the gazebo, so you can see it right there at the gazebo. But they are well placarded, and there's a QR code for older people. You know, we don't use QR codes as much, but for the younger people, they can find, it'll bring them to a page to give more information on what it actually is, why it was established, and how to be safe as well. Because you shouldn't just sit down and have a conversation with someone and start giving your social security number and your credit card information to someone. So.
And who built the benches?
Thank you. Yes, so this is the City BOCES construction and manufacturing students built all these benches last fall, and we had an early snow and a long snow, so these benches have been built since the fall, but we're just now going to be getting them out, and they'll be placed, this one will be placed on the 21st of this month.
Excellent. More questions or comments?
And
Councilor
they'll stay out year-round?
Yes, it'll stay out year-round, and we're looking into civic organizations to do maintenance on it because it is a wooden bench. It's not the plastic benches.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions or comments? If not, can I entertain a motion, please? Councilor Meyer, Councilor Ashline.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Meyer?
Yes.
Counselor Fitzgibbons?
Yes.
Counselor Lonzak?
Yes.
Counselor Ashland?
Yes. Thank you very much. Item 2 under authorization. Craig Rebior, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, has received a request to accept the donation of a bench from Christina Cooper to be located at Shapiro Park. Commissioner?
Councilors, the standard bench donation. We have a spot in Shapiro for the chat bench that's already there, and then this will replace one of the other benches that is in disrepair that it needs updating.
Great. Great. Councilor Thompson?
Is this a wooden bench, plastic?
These donated benches are metal frame with a composite, like you see in Brightback Park and the other parks. It's our standard donation bench.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Can I get a motion, please? Councilor Lautensack, Councilor Fitzgibbons.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Meyer?
Yes.
Counselor Fitzgibbons?
Yes.
Counselor Lonzak?
Yes.
Counselor Ashland?
Yes. Item 3 under authorization. Craig Rebior, Commissioner of Public Works and Parks and Recreation, requests authorization to implement fee changes at the Gallagher Pool. Commissioner?
Councilors, in 2025, somewhat to some unpopular decision from my office, we went from a $0 fee to a $2 fee. at the public pool for entry. Previous to that, in 2024, 2023, 2022, there was a significant rise in inappropriate behavior at the pool. In 2024, the average call to 911 for an officer to respond was 3 a day. 3 a day. The pool's only open from noon to 7. There were fights, there were weapons, there were arguments. It wasn't a good scene. It was not welcoming to the public, to families at all. Some discussion with the police department and the mayor and the council. We went with a $2 fee and $75 for a family fee. Family rate gets you, so long as you live in the same household, as many names on that entry fee, entry ticket as you wish for the $75, and that gets you in every day all summer long. And $2 per person, as outlined in your packet. 2026 was a resounding success. What the fee does is make people stop at the front counter. You come in, you check in. We take your name. We make sure that parents and guardians are present. This has made a very positive and significant difference. The fee forced people to stop at the desk and check in, to allow staff to verify that they were responsible adults present to their children. Most people were positive and cooperative in the process. We went from an average of 3 a day to, I believe it was 1 911 call, all in 2026. There were scuffles, there were minor issues, most of which were handled by the lifeguard staff. CSOs do stop in occasionally, check in the pool, make sure things are going okay. Nothing major. Again, just that one, I believe that 1 911 call for the entire season. 3 a day to 1 in the season. Checking at the front desk worked. We met at the end of the season, Friday, August 22nd to be specific, with our pool supervisor, Katie Metcalf. Mr. Plunkett was at that meeting as well. Meeting notes from that meeting was we would take a look at this spring and consider lowering the fee, cutting it in half to $1 to make it more affordable. And the family fee from $75 to $50. The other free, 4 and under, and veterans and seniors still free. This still accomplishes our need and our goal of having people check in at the front desk while making it more affordable. And the reviews we got, the feedback we got from the families using the pool daily, it's like night and day between 2024 and 2025. And I asked we lower the fee this year. Again, we'll see how this goes. I'm assuming, my best guess is we're going to see the same success we saw last year. If that's the case, then we'll make this the permanent fee structure going forward until someone wants to change it, 10 years from now. But any questions, comments?
Councilor Thompson.
So if checking in at the front desk is what resolved the issues, why don't we lower it to 0 and still make them check in at the front desk?
They won't stop. There's nothing to stop them at the desk.
So why don't we change the flow of entry so that way they have to stop? Is that something that can be looked into?
We could consider that. We could try that. When it was 0 fee, people are rude. I'll be blunt about it. People are rude. They're going to push their way through, or there'll be someone at the desk talking and checking in like they're supposed to, and the next person will push through and go in the locker room, and then next thing you know, they're out in the pool, the kid's in the pool, and then it's a fight to get them out. Now we're calling 911 to come get them out of the pool. If that's the council's direction, then we want to go with this. We'll certainly, we can look into that, and we could try that for this year. My recommendation and the recommendation of this committee that was put together to discuss that is not the recommendation. We lower it to $1. There were some individuals and people willing to made some donations last year to lessen the hardship on the people that, you know, even $1 can be a lot, because we're not talking about $1. It could be $3, $4, $5, $6, depending on how many people are coming in. And we understand that. Again, we welcome, we will welcome those donations if anyone wants to step up and do that again this year. So I leave it to the council to discuss and decide which way we want to go with this.
Councilor Lautensack?
Do we have numbers on how many people attended at 2024 versus 2026?
We do not have 24 numbers because we weren't checking in. I thought I had a number here for 25. Hang on, bear with me. I'm sorry, I don't have a account. I have a dollar amount that we collected, but it's not about the money.
Do we take digital pay or Apple Pay or card in addition to cash, or is it cash?
Cash only.
Is that something we could explore?
We could. There's no internet service at the pool, so we would have to install internet to be able to have that capability.
Well, you could, I mean, tech school now, you can pay through a QR code for most things. So
True.
something we could explore.
Yeah, we could work with IT on that. Questions, comments? Yes, sir.
My question was budgetary, just what was the impact of the $2 fee in gross? And that's okay, if you don't have it, that's fine.
Total.
My other question.
No, I have an answer. I have the answer to that. So, approximately $12,000 in pool admission.
At the $2 admission.
At the $2 admission.
If it had an effect on behavior, what effect did it have on attendance? Did you see 2022, 2023 numbers, and then 2024, 2025 numbers being dramatically different in terms of use of the pool?
Attendance was down. I don't know if I would call it dramatic, but attendance was noticeably down.
Right.
From 24 to 25, yes.
Councilor Lautensack?
Is there any way we could set it up that, I don't know, if someone is on WIC or something like that, there's a process they can go through where they would be able to be comped? So they could have a pass for the season or reduced even further for something like that?
As the council, you can set whatever rules you like. So I don't know what the process would be for that. Some sort of application, proof of hardship.
Councilor Thompson?
When does the pool open up?
Normally, we open, not normally, we open the first Saturday when school gets out in June.
Councilor Lautensack?
One more question, I'm sorry. You don't have probably this number. Do we know the cost of actually running the pool?
I don't have that in front of me now.
Any other questions or comments? Can I get a motion, please? Councilor Meyer? Councilor Ashline?
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Meyer?
Yes.
Counselor Fitzgibbons?
Yes.
Counselor Lautensack?
Yes.
Counselor Ashline?
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Item 4 under authorization. The City Clerk's Office requests acceptance of a donation from the family of Edward Connors of 5 books of historical local files. I spoke with Greg Castor at the City Clerk's Office. The family of Mr. Connors found a collection of Oswego-themed books while he was cleaning out a home and would like to donate this. These are historical books to the City Clerk's Office. Does anybody have any other questions or comments? If not, can I get a motion?
How are they available to the public?
That I don't know.
I think they're right in the clerk's office.
I think.
What?
I think they're in the clerk's office.
I think
So
you
they can be viewed by the public at the clerk's
I think,
office?
Counselor, yeah, I think you can go right
Would that
down,
be
down there, right?
your understanding?
You can go down there where it's foilable.
It's foilable.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha. I just know these are very old historical documents.
And they should be treated respectfully. I just would
Right.
want to
No,
think
no,
that if
that's
they
a
were
great
available-
question.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a great
yeah.
question.
Not just stored in the basement because we got them.
Right, right. Any other questions? Now, can I get a motion, please? Counselor Lautensack? Counselor Ashline?
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Meyer?
Yes.
Counselor Fitzgibbons?
Yes.
Counselor Lonzak?
Yes.
Counselor Ashline?
Yes.
Item 5 under authorization. Mayor Robert A. Cordino requests an executive session to discuss collective negotiations pursuant to Article 14 Taylor Law of the Civil Service Law. Could I get a motion to go into executive session, please? Counselor Lautensack, Counselor Meyer.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.
Counselor Meyer?
Yes.
Counselor Fitzgibbons? Yes. Counselor Lonzak?
Yes.
Counselor Ashline?
Yes.
Last call. Let's call for alcohol.
Do we need to buy you a Diet Coke or something for your time?
That was halftime.
Yes.
Yes. And then we have.
This time I'd like a motion to come out of executive session.
For administrative services.
Counselor Meyer, Counselor Fitzgibbons. Yes.
Counselor Meyer?
Yes.
Counselor Fitzgibbons?
Yes.
Counselor Lonsdale?
Yes.
Counselor Ashline?
Yes.
This time I'd like a motion to adjourn. Counselor Lautensack, Counselor Ashline.
Counselor Plunkett?
Yes.